Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. As we close out 2025, I know lots of people out there will be making their skincare New Year's resolutions, trying to focus down on their skin goals for 2026. Well, one thing I want everybody to get right next year is the use of their retinoid. Retinoids are the very best anti-aging skincare ingredient, but they're the ones that I think most of us will probably use incorrectly most often. I'm going to make it super simple for you guys today. I want to talk about how to use high potency retinoids, the best layering and pairing ingredients to use alongside them in order to double down on the anti-aging benefits you're going to see and minimize side effects and irritation. Sit back, relax, let's talk how to use Tretinoin. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the best Tretinoin pairings, how to use Tretinoin, and some of the hints, tips, and hacks for making it as easy as possible. But just know that these apply to every single retinoid out there. Doesn't matter whether you're using Tretinoin, retinal, retinol, or some of the more gentle forms. Whichever one you're reaching for, any of these layerings, pairings, and hacks will work perfectly and elevate your results. In that spirit, I'd love to know what your go-to retinoid of choice is. What's the one that you use most frequently in your skincare routine? Sound off in the comments section below and let me know. I want to use the comment section almost like a poll so we can see what the opinions of the Mad About Skin community really are. For me, I'm definitely a full-on retinal fangirl. It's the one that's worked the best for me. It's the easiest to access. But I know that everyone will have their preference and I want to hear yours. Whatever your thoughts on different retinoids, if you appreciate this style of content, which is more chatty, free-flowing, and is always sponsorship and paid partnership free, let me know by reaching down and giving the video a big thumbs up and a like. I think as we come into 2026, we need truly independent skincare advice and recommendations more than ever. And I want to be that independent voice in the community. So if you appreciate truly sponsorship-free content, like I say, let me know by sharing the video, giving a like, following if you haven't already, because we'd love to have you as part of the Mad About Skin family. Now, without further ado, let's cut that waffle and delve straight on in. Now, first off, let's start out with the Tretinoin basics, the things that are like the real quick wins that you can do instantly in order to elevate the results. And then going to come on to the best pairings, products and ingredients to use alongside Tretinoin to further enhance the outcomes that you're going to see. I've left timestamps down in the description box below, so if you want to jump to one section of the video over another, they're all there for your convenience, so be my guest. Now, starting out with those quick wins, first and foremost, if possible, use your Tretinoin on damp skin. Like I said, this applies to every retinoid. It doesn't matter if it's Tretinoin, if it's retinal, retinol. Use it on damp skin because this will actually enhance the penetration rate, meaning you're going to get a little bit more bang for your buck from the application and some enhanced results. Now, a huge caveat to this is when you're first starting out with whatever retinoid you choose, generally speaking, use it on dry skin because it will reduce the penetration rate, giving you a little bit of an easier gateway into it. It'll minimize sensitivity and irritation in the early stages, but once your skin is used to a retinoid and you've been using it consistently for say a month and a half, then start applying it onto damp skin. That's just going to help that product get into the skin to where it needs to be a little bit quicker and more effectively, and you're just going to see greater results. You don't actually have to spend a penny to achieve this because your skin will likely already be damp from the serums that you've put on beforehand. If it's not, just splash it with a little tap water, apply your retinoid, and then you'll just notice some enhanced results with literally no additional steps needed. Quick win number 2 is to try and increase the frequency that you use your retinoid. This will depend person to person because everyone's skin will have an individual tolerance, level of sensitivity, and you have to listen to what your skin's saying. The general rule is start off infrequently a couple of times a week and build up from there. Ultimately, the end goal should be to use your retinoid, whichever one you go for, every single evening in order to get the maximum results. Not everybody gets there. Some people can't quite make it to daily. That's okay. Listen to your skin. But just make sure that every so often, once a month, you take a check-in and think, could I add an extra day into the rotation? Or is this like the maximum tolerance that my skin has? For me, when it comes to retinal, which is the one I use most frequently, I can now use that every single evening, but it was a bit of a journey to get there. I know most people can use Tretinoin every single day, but they have to work up to it. Ultimately, listen to your skin, and there's no shame in not getting to daily application. Just a couple of times a week will still be giving you great results. But if possible, every so often take a check-in with your skin and say, could I be using this slightly more frequently, maybe adding an extra day in order to maximize the results? This is something I've done gradually and definitely works. Now, there's the quick wins, the easy ones that I think we can all do, or at least take stock of. Now let's come on to the best tretinoin pairings. As I keep saying, this works with any retinoid, whichever one you're using, but I find that tretinoin being the highest strength and often the most sensitizing, the ones where these pairings really do pay the maximum dividends. So first and foremost, azelaic acid. Doesn't matter what retinoid you are using, you should be using an azelaic acid alongside it. Now, nobody seems to do this. I think often we hear acid in the title of a product and immediately think, can't use this with retinoids, it'd be too sensitizing. But azelaic acid isn't an exfoliating acid. It works differently, and as a result, it actually reduces sensitivity, redness, and irritation, all the side effects you get with a retinoid. So, when you're applying your tretinoin, ideally, before your first application, you would already have been using azelaic acid for about a month in order to prep the skin. If you haven't done that, it's fine. Just use your azelaic acid alongside your retinoid and you will still see a reduction in side effects, sensitivity, and irritation. This is amazing. I did this and it made my retinoid journey so much easier. It also has a secondary benefit of helping to fade hyperpigmentation quicker too. Azelaic acid is great at minimizing dark spots and discoloration. This is one of the main reasons people often reach for tretinoin in the first place. So your tretinoin is going to be treating hyperpigmentation and the azelaic acid is too. So you're just going to get a double whammy and some super quick results. Now, the second pairing I recommend to everyone is to use a strategic use of lip balm. Now, hear me out. There are gentle and very delicate areas on our face that we really don't want our retinoid coming into contact with. The stronger the retinoid you're using, the more important this step becomes. So if you're using tretinoin, this is kind of like an essential. Everyone will have different areas that are more sensitive, but as a general rule, it's the corners of the mouth, the corners of the nose, the contours of the eyes here, and usually through the eyebrow where you can get a lot of flaking and sensitivity. These areas you don't want to be putting your tretinoin anywhere near, otherwise you'll get a lot of sensitivity. And don't forget that as a product warms up on our skin, it will naturally migrate. So you might think you've been super careful and avoiding these areas with your tretinoin, but the body's working for you and migrating it to these areas, so you're still getting that sensitivity. That's where a lip balm comes in. There's loads of ones on the market. I would say invest in a good quality one to get the best results. The Allies of Skin one is great as it's in a bullet, so you can just dab it onto those areas, super simple. But if you want a more affordable option, I actually created this. This is the Mad About Skin Intensive Rescue Balm. Much larger quantity than the Allies of Skin one, and it's cheaper. You just get a little bit, as you can see, I do this all the time. Just get a little on your finger, dab it on these areas, flick it through the brows, and this provides a really great barrier. It hydrates, calms, soothes, and nourishes those sensitive areas, but provides a barrier. So if you are a little haphazard with your tretinoin application, it doesn't matter because you protected those areas, and trust me, your skin will thank you. Also put a dose of this on the lips because again, you don't want your tret going anywhere near your lips. This will just make it really easy for you. Like I said, there's lots of different ones out there. Go for a high quality one. And if you want to try the Mad About Skin one, this was our recent product launch. So if you haven't tried it yet and you want to give it a go, I've left a code down in the description box below that will get you 30% off. You can use that and just experience this, bringing that cost down even further. Now, let's talk a little bit about vitamin C. You are always told, don't use vitamin C and retinoids together. You will sensitize the skin. This is true, but there is sort of like an exemption to that, which are vitamin C derivatives. So vitamin C derivatives are really gentle. They're not like pure form ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid, and you can use them with retinoids. So on a morning, you're going to want to use your ascorbic or L-ascorbic acid traditionally. And then on an evening, people generally won't use anything. And you're missing out because actually, if you use a vitamin C derivative in the evening, then what you'll actually be able to do is get that double fix of vitamin C, increase your glow gain, fade your hyperpigmentation, get some additional benefit without actually creating any more sensitivity, as long as you use a vitamin C derivative, and that's key. There are some great ones out there. One of my favorites is this. This is the Medicate C Tetra Advanced. As you can see from the state of this, I love this product. Works so well alongside tretinoin, alongside retinol. It's amazing. It's my personal favorite, but it's not the cheapest out there. If you want a really cheap and inexpensive vitamin C derivative, this is the ordinary ascorbyl tetraisopalmitate solution, 20% vitamin F. Don't worry about trying to type all that out. I've left some links for all the products mentioned down in the description box below. This super inexpensive, works really well. And if you use this on an evening alongside your retinoid of choice, you will actually get some additional benefit when it comes to fading hyperpigmentation, increasing glow game, without triggering an increase in sensitivity. Derivatives are key. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't use vitamin C alongside tretinoin, unless they add that caveat that vitamin C derivatives are the exception to that rule. Now, last but no means least, let's talk copper peptides. The number one asked question I get on this channel is, can I use copper peptides with tretinoin? And the answer that most people find online is no, you can't, because tretinoin can damage the copper peptides themselves. This is true, but again, there is an exception to that rule, and that is encapsulated copper peptides. Encapsulated copper peptides are protected. The encapsulation is like a shield around those copper peptides, which is gradually broken down in the skin, releasing that copper peptide activity. But it protects them. And so you absolutely can, and in my view, should use copper peptides alongside tretinoin, as long as you choose an encapsulated version. The reason I say you absolutely should is copper peptides are great for anti-aging, they boost collagen and elastin, and I don't want people feeling like it's an either or, like you have to choose your copper peptides or your tretinoin. You can use them both and you can get next level results. But also, copper peptides are actually anti-inflammatory. They can reduce sensitivity, irritation, and inflammation, which are the side effects of tretinoin. So they pair really well. Like with azelaic acid, they pair really, really well with tretinoin or any other retinoid. So definitely let's change the narrative on that. You can and should use copper peptides alongside tretinoin, provided you choose encapsulated ones. Naturium do a fantastic one that I absolutely love. And of course, when I created my own, this is the Mad About Skin Copper Peptide Serum. I did so with that encapsulation to just mean it can slot seamlessly into just about anyone's skincare routine. This is also the cheapest high-strength copper peptide on the market. I say that, I shout it all the time because I am so, so proud of that. Copper peptides don't need to break the bank. You can get them super inexpensive and encapsulated too, to just deliver the maximum results alongside your retinoid. Again, if you're watching this around the date of launch, this has just come back in stock and is currently 3 for the price of 2. If you put 3 into your basket at checkout, you'll only actually pay for 2. If you put 6 in your basket at checkout, you'll only pay for 4, so on and so forth. If you want to, stock up so you've got enough to go all the way through 2026, now's the chance. But just encapsulation. Yes to copper peptides and tretinoin, as long as the peptides are encapsulated. And there, hopefully, is your guide to how to use tretinoin or any other retinoid of choice in 2026. Let's get this right together, because I think if you take these hints, tips, and quick wins on board, you can elevate the results that you see, get some maximum anti-aging without having to break the bank, without having to have 1,000,001 new steps in your skincare routine, but you'll definitely, and your skin will definitely notice the difference. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, and wherever you are in the world, guys. Stay safe, stay well, and love your skin. Take care. Bye.